7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of us. I think there's 12 total, if I remember right. There's 11. I'll figure out who's missing later, I suppose. I'm going to try to unmute you all and see if, hey, there we go. Now everybody's here. Unmute all. All right. Michael, say hello.
Hi.
Okay, I heard you fine. All right, I need to share the screen. Share. Screen one, share. I want to go over expectations, and if I know a couple of you are going to see this for the second time now. So expectations, the priorities, excuse me. Learning will be focused around my website. My website is kind of set up for this, at least in my math classes. Not this class so much, but I'll try to put up a lot more than I usually do. We'll probably have a lot more videos. At least the Zoom session video will be put on my website each time we meet. Students will have both online and offline learning activities. These opportunities are provided Monday through Friday. So there won't be any new, well, there won't be any sessions, any Zoom sessions on Friday, but we'll have curriculum. I'll have maybe a lab or a worksheet to do. The primary tools for communication between teachers and families will be Google Classroom. We use that a little bit already. And we'll probably use that for tests and quizzes. Moodle, I don't really use that. I know how, but there's a chance I might use that. Student email addresses and parent provided email addresses. Students will provide live online learning that will also be recorded and made available to students to watch at any time. I think most teachers are putting that on Google Classroom, but I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel, and then I'll share the link on my website. I just think that's going to be easier. That way, I'm going to try to put everything in one place on my website, and then there's going to be some on Google Classroom, of course. The live online learning sessions will follow the provided schedule. The approximate time frames for learning include both live online learning and independent practice. So 30 to 35 minutes per day, each scheduled high school course. The total distance learning time, approximately 3.5 to 4 hours per day. Here's the schedule, and I'm sure if you're here now that you've seen this, but I thought I would share anyway. And you can always go back and watch this video if you can't find it. The time reflected in the table above or down here, or actually the one on the last screen, will include approximately 1 hour of live online learning per week per class. Remaining learning time will be fulfilled through teacher-provided activities and scheduled by families. So here's the schedule, Monday through Wednesday. We have first hour through fourth, and then on Tuesday and Thursday is 5 through 7. The teacher should end the meeting for all participants. I'll do that. Communicate the link. I must have done that efficiently since you're all here. Live online learning should start and end on time to allow students and teachers to get their next class. This is obviously 7th period. We don't have to worry about that, but we will start on time. Live online learning should be recorded and linked. We talked about how I'm going to record that, put it on YouTube, put a link on my website. Teachers should establish a routine and take attendance. I will take attendance for this. And then additional live online learning could be scheduled in the morning per teacher discretion, for example, AP or support classes. And I might schedule some maybe morning time if you want to get on and review for a test. I certainly won't make that mandatory. That'll certainly be optional. So that's a possibility. Where's my cursor? There it is. Class expectations. This is mainly for the math stuff. This is for my math classes. We don't have Edpuzzles videos in here. That's a website that keeps track of when my students watch the videos that I provide for the class. Assignments will be turned in on Google Classroom in PDF form before the next live meeting or before the test is due. And you know that we can turn stuff in on Replit as well. Quizzes and tests will be turned in on Google Classroom in PDF form if it's written. I might be able to get, now since we don't have math characters that we have to write, what I think I'll do is put a Google page up there and you can just type in and fill it in. Now, I tried to do it with a Word document on one of the worksheets that we did, or the AP question that I gave. And it looks like some of you had to create a Google document and then type it in. So it must not have worked for the Word document. So I'll play around with that, and I'll kind of maybe ask for some feedback on how that's going in our live sessions. If we have to go to this, and I don't think we will, but if there's anything that I want you to write out, there are a lot of apps that turn your documents into PDFs, and one of them is called Cam Scanner. Let me show you it really quick. And that camera just has to adjust a little bit to it. But this is what it looks like. And down at the bottom here, there is a camera button. And then you just take a picture of it, and you can probably see me in the video up here. You just hold it above, take a picture of it. And then it borders what it thinks the page is. And you can adjust those by just holding down and dragging them. And you can frame the page. You hit, there's an arrow button down here. I forget I'm showing you. And then it squeezes it in and then cleans it up a little bit. And of course, you can do this for other classes too, if you'd like. But the way I send it, I'll usually email it to myself. So if you hit that button up there, the PDF, and then the share button, you have lots of different options, but one of them is Gmail, or emailing it to yourself. So you can email it to yourself, download it to your Chromebook or your computer, and then attach it to the Google assignment. So if you want to play around with that, it's a free app. You can pay for a premium version, but I have never paid for it, and it serves all my needs. What it does, it'll put a watermark. It'll say Cam Scanner at the bottom of your document. So we might have to go to that. This class is set up to do a lot of what we do right on the computer. Email me questions. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You could reference the page number or question number, and this is class. You'd have to reference the problem somehow. You could write out on paper and take a picture and email it to me. You could record your voice and email that to me. If you want to get fancy and make a YouTube video and ask me a question, you could do that. There's lots of ways to communicate with me to ask me questions in this class. If you have a question on a problem, there's a good chance your classmates are thinking the same thing. Any questions so far? I want to finish by reviewing for the test, and we're going to take that tomorrow. So I made, now these notes are on my website. Let's see. Right here, I put these notes here in case you want to look at them. But this isn't quite as going to be as interactive as we usually do in class, but I'm just going to go through this program that I wrote and give you some reminders, and hopefully this stuff looks familiar to you. And it's reconnecting again. So here we have the main method, and this is going to be on the test. There's going to be one very similar question. We made an object, so not necessarily a string, but an object, and it's a new string, and it's computers. Object B is a string, also says computers. So these have the same the same word in them. So if you print out A equal to B, that is actually going to give you false because it's two separate objects and it's comparing the addresses as we've talked before. So this piece should be a lot of review. We've gone over this a lot. But if you say A dot equals, which is in the compare to interface, then it'll say true because now it's comparing the contents. All right, let's get more into the actual inheritance. So down here, I've created a parent class and a child class. So here's the parent class. Can you guys see me highlight that? Yes? Thumbs up. Can you see me highlight it? All right. So we have an instance variable right here, parent age. I know it looks like it spells page. Public static int count. Now this is a static variable which is shared by all of the objects. So if you create an object, because I've put count plus plus into the constructors, every time an object is constructed, it's going to add 1 to the count, and that count will be shared by all of the objects. So we have a constructor with no parameter, and it sets the age to 40. Here is a constructor with 1 parameter that sends the age, and there's a little bit of a focus on the this command, which we've talked about for a very long time now, but it's specifically in this chapter. This sets the instance age to the parameter age, and then we add 1 to the shared variable or the static variable count. Other methods in the parent class are get count, set the age with parameters, no parameter on get count. And then this one has 3 methods. Very simple methods, all they're doing is printing out. I didn't want to make the methods complicated. The child class has 1 instance variable, it's the child's age. Has a constructor with no parameters and then a constructor with 2 parameters. Here is where you can construct the parent with a parameter. Instantiates parent with a parameter age. And this must be first. So if I switch these two, easy with the curse words, that was close. This dot cage, so where's that at? This calls the super constructor. It has to be first. If I switch those two, it'll give me an error. Here we have set ages, and it sets both ages. It does the parameter, and then now remember that the child inherits this method up here in the parent right there. Now this one also has 3 methods. It doesn't have 1, 2, and 3. It has 1, 2, and 4. So 1 and 2 will override the parent. 3 and 4 are unique to each of those methods. Then on this one, it has method 1, super method 1, method 2, and super method 2 right here. Let's go back up into the main body, the main method, and we'll see how all of these are called. So we have a child equals new child. If we do person 1 and call method 1, it's just going to call this one and print science. And that's over here to the right. That's how that was printed. Run it now is a little bit more complicated. So now it calls the run it method in the child. It calls method 1, which is going to be method 1 here. It calls this one. And it prints science again. Then, now this is where it's a little different. Now we're calling the superclass method 1. And so it knows that we want to run this method and we don't want to look to see if it was overridden. So that's why it'll print AP. So if you specifically call the super method, it will just run that method, no overriding at all. Method 2 is called, and that's here, and it'll print A. So A is printed next, and then super method 2 is called, and that is actually up here, and it will print computer. So computer is printed right there. Now, what I should have said before is when this was instantiated, this constructor down here was, let's say, activated right there, that one, because I didn't have any parameters with it. But since this is extends parent, this constructor is also, let's say, activated. So count did get added a value of 1. Now we instantiate person 2. Person 2 is a parent that references the child class. So when we call method 1 here, when we call method 1, Java will look to see if that was overridden, and it was. So it prints science. So that one was overridden, print science right there. Where are we at? Right there. Then if it prints method 3, because it's a parent, this one is not overridden, and it prints nothing to override. Parent equals new child. We got that. Now we're right here. Parent, person 3 is new parent. So now person 3, that object, has no clue that child even exists in the program. It's not referencing at all. So now if we were to try to call method 4, which is in the child class, it can't access that. It doesn't even know it's there. So it cannot call a child method if nothing is referenced in the child class. And then the last thing I printed, which really has not much to do with person 3, it's pretty much separate, is that if we go back now just to person 1, person 2, or person 3, it wouldn't matter. If we get the count now, 3 objects were created. So the constructor for parent was run 3 times, 1 for each object. I know that must have been thrilling for you to listen to, but are there any questions on that stuff? Everybody's good? All right. Go ahead and open up a tab. I want to give this a shot, see if this works. And I made a Kahoot for us. We have about 13 minutes, so hopefully we can get all of this in. And we have 10 questions. How do we? I got to send you like a number, right? Did you guys get that at all? I didn't send it to you, did I? Someone say something. No?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Gosh darn it. I thought I had everything rehearsed for today too. Let me go back.
Well, like, don't you have to start the game to give us the PIN number?
Is that what I have to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 questions, view, visible. Okay, let me try that. Play. Classic. I don't see it yet. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Can you hear that music? No?
No.
Okay, I can. 517-5846.
No.
Can you see the code? Oh, yeah. Okay. We got people joining now. I think we only have 11 here today. What do I do now? Start. Okay, it was covered up.
Start on the right.
Yep. Oh. Whoa. What? Okay, here we go. I don't know if 20 seconds should be good enough for most of these, I would hope. How do I go back to the question? Can I go back to it? What was it?
I don't think so.
Was it super? Is that what it was?
Extends.
Extends.
Oh, extends. Oh, yeah, I was thinking something else. Okay. next. All right, Zach's in the lead. Question 2. Oh, everybody, only 2 answered it. It's going too quick, isn't it? That's probably not long enough. All right, we'll keep going with this and give it a try. I wish I could go back to the question. Can I not do that? Show media.
Show media.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, show media. So we have a parent N, O extends N. And that's pretty much it. So here's the client code. N, it is a new O. So parent is a new child. And system printout, print it. Int is up, print it. Is there an it method?
It's like a toString of the and it.
Oh yeah, it's the object. Thank you. So 1 was given 5. So letter C, is that the correct answer? Yep, letter C. Yep, letter C. All right, here we go. Next and next. Printing the object again. All right, show media on this one. I don't know if you can see that, whether you're looking at Zoom or Kahoot. Let's see, we have a class N, O is the child. And so we establish an object it and sending parameter 7. So it sends integer x 7, then the super is called with the parameter. And so 1 is equal to x. So this should print 7, right? So the last one, E should be the answer because it sent it as a parameter. Any questions on that one? There it is right there. All right, we got 7 minutes. We'll see how far we can go with this. This one, it says Vx is a new V, so it's only a parent. That's it. So it doesn't even know that the child exists. So on this one, you can pretty much ignore the child class altogether. So it says Vx equals new V, no parameters. X.1, it calls the 1 method, and all it will do is print the word it. So if it's a parent equals new parent, you can completely ignore the child class altogether. All right, well, we all gave it a shot. Parent X equals new child, essentially, is what's going on here. So now it's a parent object that's looking into the child method to see if anything has been overridden. So now when we have X.1, it's calling the method called 1. It looks into the child class, see if it's overridden, so it is, and this one will print up because 1 is overriding the parent class. Any questions on that one? So that's why the answer is D. All right, let's keep rolling. Oh, very good. Very good. Well, now we have a parent equals a new child. We call one. One is being overridden. So it goes down to the child one and prints up. Now it's not a print line, so it'll stay on the same line. Then it calls the method two. Two has been overridden also. So it should be up at. That's why it is letter B, up at. All right, let's take a look at this one. I'm just looking in the client code right now. And in the client code, it says Vx is equal to a new W. So a parent is equal to a new child. So now it's going to look into the child class to see if the method one is overridden. And it is. So when you do x dot one, it looks into the child class and prints up. So up will be printed. Then it changes x to a new V. So now it's a parent that is a parent. Now it doesn't know that the child class exists at all. It won't look in there at all. It doesn't even know it's there. So when we do x dot two, it looks to the parent two and prints go. It doesn't even check to see if it's overridden now because it's only a parent. It's a parent equals new parent. So now so what? Up, go. So that's why it's letter D. Letter D. Questions on that one? Let's keep rolling. All right, so letter C. Show media. Letter C, up, it. So now WX is a new W. So that means child is a new child. So it inherits the parent methods. So we're going to do x dot test it. So x dot test it goes to the child test it. One is called, so it should be up. And that's why in letter, what was the answer? Letter D? Is that right? No, letter C. Letter C, that's why it's up first. Then it does super dot test it, so it goes to the super class, but one is being called in the super class, and it will look to see if that is overridden. So that's why it goes up. It goes back to the overridden one. Then it goes to the super dot one, and it's specifically called the super dot one. And so that's why it'll end with it. Notice that if you look at public void test it in the super class in the class V, one is being called within the superclass. So it will look to be overridden. And that's different than specifically saying super dot one. It'll only run the superclass when called from that. Any questions on that one? Next. Zach, Michael, Gene, Colin, Peyton. Good job. Here we go. Ooh, we might need more time for this one. At least I would even. So letter C is the answer on this one. I know that goes very fast. But J runner equals, and we're running out of time here. Let me finish this one and I'll let you guys go because our time is up. J runner equals a new K. So J is a parent. Parent equals a new child. So when it says system.out runner, it's printing the object. So now we're looking at the toString. But look at the constructor. So the constructor is J with no parameter. So X and Y are both given the value 4. So then when we do the toString, it does the toString overrides. So the toString in the parent is overridden by the child, but all the child is doing is calling the super toString. So it goes 4, 4 on that one. Any questions? I will post the test tomorrow. Actually, I might even post it tonight. And then let me see what I post. Let me see what I have on here. Inheritance test turned in by midnight tomorrow. So let me end this real quick. Stop share. Everybody good with doing the test by midnight tomorrow? Think we can handle that? All right, there will be a multiple choice part. There will be a writing part, but what I'll do is make a Google document for that and you can just type it in. Now, if for some reason you can't get that to work, just write it out, write the answers on a notebook, piece of notebook paper, maybe try to upload it as a PDF. And if you can't get that to work, the last case is just take a picture of it and upload it on Google Classroom. Any questions before we end the session? All right, and I will see you guys again live on Tuesday. I might make a video for Monday that would go along with your assignment. We're going to start, well, you know what we should do? We'll just start our next unit on Tuesday when we can go live. So test tomorrow, turned in by midnight, and then the next thing you'll do for me is on Tuesday. Any questions before we leave? All right, have a great weekend, you guys. Talk to you later.